Application to the learned gentlemen of the world. Question: is there any differences in the principles of astronomy by Newton? Answer: yes. Question: why so? Answer: please read this. Mr. Albert Einstein, professor of physics of the University of Berlin, states in his book by the name of the theory of relativity that there is difference to some extent to the principles of astronomy by Newton, and the reasons for the same he has described in his book, which has been published since 10 years. Still, however, these principles of his have not been successful. The same principle of astronomy by Newton is wrong to a greater extent, and the principle that the sun moves and the earth is still is proved in the book named Extraordinary Discovery of Astrology, composed by me, the undersigned. And the per usual of this book for 10 minutes will prove that the sun moves and the earth is still, and this principle is quite true, and this is not to be proved by means of a telescope, but just as the time is ascertained by consulting a watch on the wrist, or one kept in the house, in the same way the principle that the sun moves and the earth is still will be proved by the sound per usual of the book Extraordinary Discovery of Astrology, composed by me, and I too am prepared to prove this. This would have been proved earlier, but for some difficulties as stated below. 1. That from the date I may publish my details regarding this principle, the copyright should be reserved to me. 2. That the sum of £300 should be obtained for my story in English, and for the translation of the same in other languages, and for the cost of blocks, and the amount may be deposited in the Imperial Bank of India or in any other bank. India government for the last 1 century, 100 years, has taught to the Indian students the principles that the earth moves and the sun is still, and the same principle is running the brains of the students till now, and that is believed to be true. And it is due to this that my true case is not being relied upon, or it is that they are not able to understand. The same is the case with the Indian princes and kings, and so if the kings may not help me, of course the public will not. Still I try to secure help, even in India. Besides, I am anxious to try to get justice from those learned men who follow the principle that the earth moves and the sun is still, and I am sure that after the perusal of my book, The Extraordinary Discovery of Astrology, these learned men of the West will come forward to help me, and the names of the same will be published in my book, and hence I request once more to such people to help me by grant of money for this work, for which I shall be obliged to them. Dated the 17th of September 1927. Porbandar, Kaviwa, India, by Jamiyatram Dayabai Shukla. Copy 2. The some religious authorities of the world, kings and princes of India, professors of physics of the universities, chief societies, editors of the newspapers, and leading gentlemen of the countries. And the printing press was from Sri Nabe. Right. This was like a letter from 1927 to the religious authorities of the world and the kings and princes of India, saying that basically Einstein was wrong and Newton was wrong, because the earth stands still, it does not move, and the sun moves around it, not us around the sun. And this man was an astrologer, and I've not been able to find his book that he put this theory in, but I've looked for it and I've searched for it over India, and people I've asked, like Indian bookstores and so on, but I can't find much about him on the internet either. But the person I brought this off did say that this was previously owned by the Prince of Gondau in India. So we're thinking that this is one of the copies of the letters that he sent, and because the princes of India obviously have the money, he was trying to get the money for his book, to publish his book, to sponsor him, so to speak. I thought you would enjoy this letter, and I hope you did enjoy it. And it's an interesting piece of history, really, isn't it? 1927, an Indian astrologer who says the Earth does not move. There's a Indian at the moment, K.C. Paul. There's a documentary about him, and he says basically the same thing, that the Earth does not move and the sun goes round the Earth. He's a geocentrist, not a flat earther. I don't believe the Earth is flat, but he's a geocentrist. So the Earth is the center of the universe and motionless. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. God bless you all, and I wish you a lovely week. Keep on studying the flat Earth. Keep on telling people about the flat Earth. And I hope you keep discovering more and more truth, and share more and more truth, and get closer and closer to God. Right, take care.